This is Trash to Treasure and Dollar Tree DIY. I had this sign laying around and I didn't have any use for it, so I figured I could fix it up and do something else with it. So we're going to start off by using Waverly ink chalk paint and just paint this. I just want to get rid of those words. And I'm not going to worry about the sides too much. That's why I chose black, just because it's already black, so I'm not going to worry about the sides too much. What I'm going to do is take some twine, and I'm going to make kind of like a handle. So what I'm going to do is put a little dab of hot glue. Try to get it as straight as possible. Trusty old Dollar Tree scissors. Surprisingly, these scissors are better than most scissors you buy at the store. Okay, and then what you want to do is just kind of measure like how big you want your handle. So I'd say about that big. So I'm just going to cut a little extra. Okay, so in order to thread these beads, I mean, it might work, but most of the time you have to put something on the end to be able to get them through. So we'll try. Whoops, already losing one. Huh. Alright, so these are actually going to work without having to put something on the end. Alright, so I'm going to thread these and I'll be right back. Pull them through. See how I did that? And now what I'm going to do is take some hot glue right where I want it. Secure that in place. Okay, now let that dry. I am going to dab a little bit more while that's drying. Okay. Now for this next part, I have my eggs, and obviously these are pretty messed up. My daughter was playing with them around Easter, so that's why this is kind of like a trash to treasure. So, and then I had this one. I didn't have quite enough of these ones, so I had to get a ones that break apart for candy. But hey, you use what you have, right? Alright guys, so I have my eggs drying. So this is dry too. So what I'm going to do is take and cut this string off. So have a little sign with the handle. Okay, and what I am going to do is, I have a few different stencils because, I mean it is, but I just want to be able to fit that on here somewhere. So I'm going to do a few different stencils. You could also print images offline and scratch chalk on the back and then trace it. But I had these on hand, so that's what I'm going to do. So what you want to do is put your stencil down. Take your pouncer brush and get a little bit on your brush and dab dab to get the excess off. When you're stenciling a stencil like this, you don't want to load your brush up because you're going to end up with a lot of bleeding. With stencils that don't adhere to your project and then peel off, generally have bleeding no matter what you do, but you want to try to get the least bit of bleeding that you can. So that's why less is more. when you're doing something like this. And if you need to go back and do like a second coat, but this doesn't have to be perfect. I want it to look weathered and, you know, not perfect, so it doesn't really bother me. Okay, so we have that. I'm gonna get a little bit more on my brush. And when you're using a pouncer, you do just what it says, pounced. You don't want to brush it. I mean, I'm sure you could go in and trace this, but I like to use stencils just because they don't always come out perfect, and, you know, I like that, so. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, look how cute that looks. Okay, now we're going to get this other one. We're going to apply it down there. Now I'm going to cut this just so that way when I set it down, the stencil doesn't get over here and have paint everywhere. Okay, so that was a lot. And I didn't have a smaller brush, but if you can get, or if you have a smaller pouncer, I would use that, because if you see, I'm getting it. But again, I don't mind, so nothing in life is ever perfect, is it? Would be nice if it was. So I'm just gonna be as careful as I can around the edges. And if you can't get in those little grooves, take like the edge of your pouncer and just try to get in there. And while I'm doing this, I just, you know, was wondering if you guys could leave in the comments down below what your favorite DIY is. Do you guys like to paint? Do you like to stencil? Do you like to take trash and turn it to treasure? Do you know, what is your area of expertise, and what do you like to do most? All right, so there we have it. Now for the last one, I'm going to take my 25 cents. Stick that one right there. Get the chicken's little feet. Okay. Alright, there you have it, guys. Farm fresh eggs, 25 cents. Then you'll have your eggs right in front of it. I did want to mention that the easiest way to do those eggs that I found, they're kind of a pain, is to hold it from the top and the bottom and just paint like as much as you can, spin it around, paint the rest. I wouldn't worry about the bottom too much because they're going to be in the crate and you're not going to be able to see the bottom anyway. And then once you set it down, then paint the top. So this is what I ended up with. I should have added a little bit of orange. I did this before and this is what I ended up with, and these look way more realistic, so I would add a little bit of orange to your hazelnut. So, you know, for video purposes, I'm not going to redo it, but this looks more realistic like brown eggs, so later on I might redo these, but for now I'm just going to show you guys these. And that's what I did before, was took the hazelnut and added orange. I don't have any orange right this minute, so that's why I didn't go ahead and do that, but that's what I would recommend. I mean, these don't look bad, but they just don't look as realistic as you could make them. So on to the next DIY. So this is our Dollar Tree DIY. Scrapbook paper from Michael's. In my haul video, I had bought this. It was broken, so I'm just going to redo this. And what I'm going to do is take this scrapbook paper from Michael's, and I'm going to turn this around and actually take and trace this, so that way I get a piece that's exactly this size. Okay. I'm going to just cut it out. Be left with. And then you just figure out, like, do you want it up and down or do you want it side to side? I like how this is, so I'm probably going to do the same side to side. And I will be right back before I stick it on here, just because it'll probably be easier that way. So I've got my paper here. I've got my little piggy to go along with my farmhouse theme. And even though you won't see the whole banner, I mean, you're still going to get the idea that it's a banner, so that's why I'm not too worried about it. You guys, I mean, you can turn any piece that you have into anything else, and that's the thing with DIYing as well. I mean, once you get tired of one thing, you can change it up to look like something else, or, you know, I'm doing these colors and you can do any color you like to suit, you know, what goes with your decor. And that's the beautiful thing about crafting, is you can make it your own, you can make it look how you want to look. And that's why I just really enjoy doing this. It's extremely therapeutic for me. I've had some trauma in my past, and you know, some days are easier than others. If you'd like to hear that story, I will link it down below, and I hope you guys will understand my story and understand that people make mistakes, and even though they make mistakes, it doesn't make them a bad person, and it doesn't mean that they can't change their life or turn it around at any point in time, because anybody is capable of change. Change is extremely scary, and change is extremely hard, and you know, some can do it and some can't, and I was fortunate enough to turn my life around, and I thank God for that every day. But I wanted to get my story out there and just let people know that they're not alone. So I would love it if you would go, and it's actually a 3-part series. I would love it if you went and watched and let me know what you guys think. So I'm done here. I'm just gonna peel. Oh, look how pretty that looks. How cute is that, you guys? Alright, I'm gonna let this dry and I'll be right back. So you just want to take a little bit of Mod Podge, and if you guys want, you can actually Mod Podge the front of this, but I think I might just leave it the way it is. I like the way it looks like this. So just smoothing it down. There you go. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you come back next time. Please hit that like button if you liked it. Share, subscribe. When you hit subscribe, tap the bell. When the menu appears, tap all to be notified. And I appreciate you guys stopping by. Please leave a comment down below what your favorite craft is, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.